There's a device that I've been using called a Whoop.
Hello and welcome back to IGOW6. I'm your host, Dan Sugano, aka Skittles, and in this video, we're going to be covering IGOW6 challenge number 4, that's the Velocidrone Matty Mayhem. This challenge, of course, is going to feature matty flips and other matty style tricks. For these types of maneuvers that require you to fly backwards, under, and through different obstacles, I strongly suggest practicing in the simulator first. The best of which just happens to be this challenge's title sponsor, Velocidrone. Okay, now let's go over the requirements for IGOW6 challenge number 4, the Velocidrone Matty Mayhem. Requirement number 1 is that you must perform a standard matty flip on an IGOW-sized gate that is set on the ground, and then at the end of that matty flip, perform a celebration roll while the gate is still in your FPV view. Requirement number 2 is that you must perform the following combo on any over-under obstacle. And that starts with a matty flip, then into a half matty, then a back rollback, then another matty flip, and finally at the end of that matty flip, you finish it off with a celebration roll, again with the obstacle in FPV view. The obstacle could be anything, any size, anywhere, as long as you can fly both over and under it. And all the tricks must be performed immediately one after another with no additional flying to set up. Requirement number 3 is that you must perform the following combo between two obstacles that have a maximum gap of 24 inches between them. The combo is a half matty, matty flip, juicy rollback, then another half matty, a 540 half matty, and then a front flip to matty flip, and finally at the end of that, a celebration roll with the obstacle in your FPV view. Now, the roll directions only matter for the juicy rollback and the 540 half matty. Those two tricks have to have opposite roll directions of one another, but all the other maneuvers that contain a roll can be either direction. I chose the maximum gap between the obstacles of 24 feet, so you could use the uprights like on a football field, because I think that's a pretty common obstacle you'll be able to find. But you can use anything like flag poles or sign supports, even the side of the building in a tree might work. And again, all the tricks must be performed immediately one after another with no additional flying or setup. And remember, the juicy rollback and the 540 half matty have to have opposite roll directions when you're performing them. Okay, now let's move on to the points of focus for the challenge. So I tried to mix most of the points of focus into the actual language of each of the requirements, but the main focus of the judging for this challenge will be that all of your tricks are performed immediately one after another, such that the end of one trick is the start of the next trick, and you cannot have any extra flying around or setup in between the tricks. The next point of focus will be that all of your tricks are performed with that constant loop motion. So that means that for all of your matty flips, you have a nice, smooth, sweeping back motion to finish off your matty flips or your half matties. If you ever find yourself over flipping forward and then you fly forward, catch yourself, and then come backwards through, that would not pass for constant loop motion. You have to always be moving in the loop motion, hence constant loop motion. And finally, the last point of focus will be on the final maneuver for all of the requirements, and that is the celebration roll. Now you must perform your celebration roll after you finish the last matty flip, but while you're still looking at the obstacle. So basically, after you pass under or through the obstacle at the end of the last matty flip, as you finish your backwards motion, while you're still looking at the obstacle and have it in your FPV view, then you must perform your celebration roll. The direction doesn't matter, you can choose whatever you want for all of them. As I mentioned at the top of the video, I suggest practicing all these maneuvers in the simulator before you go out and try them in real life. And in my opinion, the best and most realistic simulator is this challenge's title sponsor, Velocidrone. Velocidrone is the official simulator of both IGOW and RaceGOW, as well as multi-GP, and it's used by some of the fastest and most talented pilots in all of FPV to learn and practice. You can fly FPV drones of all types and sizes in Velocidrone, and it's my go-to simulator for both racing and freestyle practice. I think it feels the most realistic, and Velocidrone also has the best community of pilots that regularly race there, like the average Jane and Joe's race, which has been held every Thursday for the last couple years. So if you haven't downloaded Velocidrone yet, I highly recommend it to anyone that flies FPV. I think it's well worth the small price. Okay, now let's get into the tutorial section of the video. We've already covered the standard Matty flip and the half Matty in preseason challenge number 4, so there should be a link somewhere here and in the video description so you can check that out. For this challenge, the tricks I'm going to cover that you may not be familiar with are the 2 rollback variations. So let's jump into Velocidrone to explain these maneuvers, and then we're going to go out into the field and find some obstacles to perform the combos on. Alright, here we are in the IGOW arena. So previously on preseason challenge number 4, we've already covered how to perform a standard Matty flip and your half Matty variation of the Matty flip. So if you need some refresher on that, check out preseason challenge number 4. But in this challenge, we're going to be covering kind of a variation of that in what is called a rollback. So there's 2 variations. This trick was invented by Plumes. Let's go somewhere a little lower so we can show it off a little easier. The first variation I'm going to call the back rollback. That's when you fly under or through an obstacle, look back with a half flip, and then full roll, and then Matty back under. So you kind of go under, look back with a half flip, and then under. So of course that's a half back flip. And then the other variations, I'm going to call it juicy rollback. And that's with a half front flip. So it's kind of like a juicy flip, then a full roll, and back under. So again, you kind of under, juicy flick, full roll, and back under. Of course, I'm always doing the same roll direction because that's what I prefer. But you can do either with both of the moves. And those are our rollbacks. So those are going to be mixed in to both of the combos. Let's do one here on kind of like a 2 full obstacle like we need for requirement number 3. So half Matty, Matty flip, and then let's do a juicy rollback because that's what we have to do on this one. Boom. And right through. So then, of course, also there's the 540 half Matty, which is just a full roll and then a half Matty. So that's not too complicated. Pretty self-explanatory. I briefly mentioned before, but I want to make sure I give full credit to Plume, who is the inventor and namer of this trick. I think it's a pretty cool looking trick, and he really does it with a great style. So I wanted to include his tutorial as well. Alright, so get out there, try these new rollback tricks. Alright, so we're gonna head to a couple different places I was thinking that would be good for this challenge. Obviously, you want something that's really tall for the first combo, and then for the second combo, the taller poles you can find, the better. So basically, we're looking for really tall, high things. Let's see what we can find. All right, so I came to a place where I knew there's a good obstacle here since it's already getting kind of late, the sun's setting, and that is the giant IKEA sign here. Technically, this is better for the second combo with the really tall poles, but I can still use the top of the sign for the first combo. Obviously, it's not as ideal having things below it in the way that you could possibly hit, but it is super high, so there are trade-offs. Also, there are some pretty tall bushes on the ground if I do crash down, but it looks like I hopefully should be able to recover the whoop from those if necessary. But ideally, we just won't crash at all and we'll just get it done. All right, so as you can see, we're here at the IKEA sign, and what we're gonna do is start off with the Nano Scout because that's the most underpowered one, and just to show that it is possible, if you have the tall enough obstacle, you should be able to get it done with pretty much any drone. So, first combo number 1, that's our any size over under, and I'm going to just be using the top of the IKEA sign here. So we're going to go matty flip, half matty, and then rollback, so we fly under, kind of like we're going to power loop, but then we look back at it, do a full roll, come back under, and then one more matty flip to finish it off. A celebration roll. There. Pretty simple. That was requirement or combo number 1. So I was going through the same poles every time just to kind of keep it even, but you know, it doesn't have to be anything that has any poles on the bottom. So I could have switched if I wanted. It doesn't really matter. We can go matty flip. Whoa, that was a washout. The wind is fighting me this way, so I'm actually gonna come and try it this way. I think it should be a little easier. It's pushing me over, and then matty flip, half matty, roll back, we fly under, go up like we're gonna loop, look back at it. So there, I didn't go under the pole, but I still went under the sign. And then matty flip, I'll stay under the side. Celebration. That would still count. Obviously it doesn't show quite as much control, but for this first combo, it's just any over under obstacle. You don't have to have any sides. So ooh, all right, let's bring it back in. All right, so now we're gonna go for the second combo. And for this one, you just need 2 tall poles. Well, they don't need to be tall, but the taller, the easier. This combo requires a little bit more precision. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start off half matty, and then we just do a matty flip. You could go over the top, but it's easier just to stay between the poles. Matty flip. Then you're gonna do like juicy flick, full roll, come back. Oh shit. Okay, we smacked the thing. The wind is pushing us a little sideways, so we're gonna have to remember and adjust for that. Half matty. Matty flip. And then juicy flick, full roll, come back through. And half matty this way. Then I have to do a 540 half matty with the roll the opposite direction that I did the roll back. And then, oh wait, then flip the matty. Alright, so that was a little sloppy because I forgot exactly what I needed to do. There's the celebration roll. Let's try it one more time. Hopefully the wind has died down slightly here. Feels like maybe it has. Maybe not. Half matty. Roll it all the way over. Matty flip. This time, juicy flick, full roll, back through. Half matty. 540 half matty, opposite roll direction of the last full roll. Bring it around again, flip the matty flip. Come back through one last time, celebration roll. We've done it. Woohoo! Do the previous one. Put them together. Whoa, washout. Yuck out. Alright. Let's try the other roll direction. Alright. Matty.
flip, roll this way. Matty back this way. 140 half Matty. Flip, Matty flip. And acceleration roll. We got this on now.
All right, IGOWers, many of you pilots may consider this challenge to be less difficult than the previous challenge. And if you're new to IGOW, you might just naturally assume that all the challenges will just get harder and harder throughout this season. And as a general theme, that is true. But I also try to mix up what makes the challenges difficult. So, just because you weren't able to do the last challenge does not necessarily mean you won't be able to do the next one. So never give up hope. Good luck and happy whooping.
Yeah,